Let's talk about the Shattered Cog. I've talked before about the nobles and how the vast majority of them are against the new tech and against the social and financial instability it brought them, as well as the blurring of power hierarchy. I've talked about the tycoons like Ambrose Bexley who are surfing the wave of disruption that the new tech is causing to both enrich themselves more than some of the ruling nobility, but also to gain the admiration of the middle class for putting in question the titles and traditions that kept the nobility in power for so long. And then, of course, we have the Order of the Machinist, with one of their most vocal clergy, Elder Tassian, blaming all diseases, natural disasters, and socio-economical upheaval onto the heresy, apathy, and moral corruption of his contemporaries. But of course, these are all the monoliths of Calderwick. We have many other factions that impact Calderwick and its people daily. And today we'll be focused on the Shattered Cog, one of the most recent factions that emerged in the beginning of the tech revolution but has skyrocketed in prominence ever since. A figure who seemingly stepped out of legend, who goes by many names but is mostly commonly referred to as the Liberator, is rumored to have created the Shattered Cog by freeing workers forced to sleep on factory floors to meet the required hours, and inspired them to rise up by proclaiming that the machine could work with shattered cogs. So, hence the name Shattered Cog. Despite this story has been retold many, many times, there was never any agreement about how the Liberator looked like. And due the because of this anonymity of their fabled creator and the very real necessity to hide their identity to avoid persecution, the Shattercog members are always wearing a mask with a smear of rust across it. As the tech revolution brought more instability, displacement, and resentment, the Shattercog started to grow more and more in size and members. And like any other growing movement, its members began to disagree where they should go next. The Shattered Cog is still not a very unified organization, and each independent cell holds a lot of power locally. However, two of the most influential leaders of the Shattered Cog, not counting the quasi mythical Liberator, the two most influential leaders are the Keymaker and Rusty Ash. The two of them, however, have drastically different visions for the present and the future of the organization and for Calderwick itself. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about my TTRPG, Brass and Embers, about the Shattered Cog, and about how the project goes, follow us, and stay tuned for part two. See you guys.